Focus tonight. It has been about 3 weeks since Mayor Stephanie Rawlings-Blake fired Police Commissioner Anthony Batts. An interim commissioner, Kevin Davis, immediately took over, and in that time has already made some quick changes many officers are already seeing. In Focus, investigator Brian Kubler sat down with Davis, and he joins us now with more. Brian?
Kelly, making big changes to a department the size of Baltimore is almost like changing the direction of a giant ship. It can be slow and arduous, but eventually the vessel will move. But sometimes bigger changes come from several smaller ones. It's a philosophy Kevin Davis is betting on.
So it's just tweaks.
It's almost always about the small things. It's a lesson learned early for Interim Commissioner Kevin Davis when he decided the Baltimore Police Department policy on tattoos was outdated. Going back at least 2 commissioners, officers had to cover up their ink with long sleeves even on the hottest of days. It was after watching one of his officers sweat profusely while working a soccer game that Davis made the call.
Rescinding that policy, rescinding the tattoo policy, allowing officers with tattoos on their arms to wear short sleeves just seemed like a small gesture, and I had no idea that it would be so wildly received in a very, very positive way. But it impacted a lot of cops, and it makes them more comfortable at work.
And if they are more comfortable at work, Davis feels they are happier, more productive, and engage with the community better. Letting officers with visible tattoos wear short sleeves was a simple but quick change Davis made almost immediately after taking over the department. The interim commissioner also set up an email account for members of the police force to directly communicate with him on other ideas as well. As of when we sat down to talk to him late last week, he had 84 of those already. One of them asked why every officer wasn't outfitted with a taser. Turns out BPD had them all, but didn't train every officer in their use. Now that is about to change as well, Davis says, as are other smaller things like handing out better LED flashlights.
It's always the small things. You know, we have new flashlights, so these LED flashlights, much better than the old-fashioned battery-operated flashlights. So what we did immediately is we made sure that all of our midnight patrol officers have the new flashlights, and we're going to get the new flashlights out as quickly as we can to the entire force.
Davis is betting on small changes adding up and helping to boost the morale of a department that's been suffering. A big show to that end was a recent press conference on an officer wounded in the line of duty. After weeks of bickering between command staff and the union, both members stood together to update the public on an officer's condition.
I called Gene Ryan, and Gene and I both agreed that he and I would stand together. Now, Gene didn't say anything in that press conference, but he stood next to me. So to have the FOP president standing next to the police commissioner sends a message not only to the rank and file, but to the community.
But there are bigger changes coming. Davis says he is looking to tweak the number of command staff, along with streamlining other lower ranks into a single chain of command. It is yet another reorganization for the Baltimore Police Department, but one he says was formulated after taking a very hard look at what worked in the past. Davis says he will announce the bigger changes in the coming days and weeks.